Are you an older guitarist, or maybe you picked up the instrument at a later age? If you feel that you have troubles memorizing songs and it seems like an uphill battle where you just keep practicing the same songs, and if you don't spend time on them for a few weeks, you're already forgetting and losing stuff. If that is you, then this video here today is for you. Because I want to actually show you in today's video that very often it doesn't have to do with aging or memory loss, why you can't remember your songs, but it actually has to do with a lack of foundations in your playing, and that you're only using one aspect of your memory instead all three main aspects of your memory to be able to remember something. And you can imagine, if you're only using a third of your memory capacities, then you're not gonna remember much. So in that sense, stick around, and by the end of this video, you should have the knowledge to memorize things in a more three-dimensional way, and you're gonna see that way more than you're remembering right now. All right, let's get going. But why should you be even listening to me? My name is Ulrich. I've been a professional guitarist for 25 plus years. I've played thousands of shows on 3 continents. I've picked up a few things here and there that led me to found Total Guitar Transformation in 2020, where I have helped hundreds of guitarists to unleash their lead guitar voice and get closer to reaching their full potential as improvisers and musicians. And I hope you're going to be next. Yes, so let's get going. I always like to lead with a musical example. So I'm actually going to teach you a little part here. We're going to play a slow blues in E, and I'm going to show you this rhythm motive. And then with this little composition that I'm going to teach you, I'm going to show you how you can mobilize all 3 aspects of your learning. Because the problem that happens very often with self-taught players, especially if you are focused on tabs, the problem is that you're only concerned with where to put your fingers. That's the main thing that you wanna, you wanna figure out, where do I have to put my fingers to make that sound? Of course. But this is only the muscle memory. Yeah? You're only training your muscle memory, and the muscle memory is also the fastest to go. We're going to talk about this more. I'm going to play this little thing, and then I'm also going to give you the tabs to that. But you need to promise me that you work on all 3 aspects. Yes, so, I can give you the tabs of this, and you can get down the sheer mechanics of where to put your fingers. That's the memory layer that most guitarists rely on. And this layer is also the one that goes the quickest, because you just cannot remember. Your hand has so many things to do. You're not going to remember where to put your fingers exactly. Huh? Especially not if your brain doesn't understand why you're doing this. Yeah? So that leads us to our second memory layer, which is the cognitive memory layer. It's about understanding what we're actually doing here. So a big part of the cognitive memory in music is to understand the form. What is the form that we are playing here? You might know it or you might not know it. Yeah, we're in E here. So we are playing a blues form here. It's a 12-bar blues form. It's very slow, but if you count it correctly, then you had 4 bars of E here at the beginning. So we got 4 bars of E. So I did this 4 times, and then 2 bars of A, back 2 bars of E, 1 bar of 5 chord B, then 1 bar of A, and 2 bars of E again with a turnaround at the end. Yeah? So if you understand this form, you already got a huge leg up, because then you can realize this all keeps repeating. The same thing keeps repeating. There's just a certain structure to follow that makes this work. And this is the case in all tunes. Yeah? Any song that you learn has a lot of redundant information in it. There are verses, there are pre-choruses, there are choruses. There's a lot of repetition in every song. Yeah? So you don't actually need to remember 3.5 minutes of music or however long the piece is. Chances are that you only have to remember 50 seconds of music, and then you just need to know the structure. So that's what I'm talking about here with the cognitive memory, that is going to help your muscle memory in a huge way. Let's look at our actual riff here. So I'm doing this soulful kind of riff. So we can go further now in understanding, and I can go like deeper, say like, okay, I'm playing these 3 notes here that I'm sliding, right? These 3 notes are actually part of an E7-9 chord. Yeah, this is my chord, my underlying harmony, so to speak. And I'm just playing the top notes here, which is a D note, the flat 7, an F sharp, the 9th, and a B note, which is the 5th. So knowing this and visualizing it like this already helps my memory again on a just muscle basis. And then I have this slide here. So I'm doing the same thing a whole step higher. Yeah? Now, if you have difficulties remembering stuff, I want you to start talking to yourself. Like I was just talking to you to explain this. I want you to just spell things out loud. So spell out the note names. Actually spell out the intervals and give yourself as many clues as possible to remember this part. So speak to yourself, just ingrain it into your memory, even by saying stuff. It helps. Yeah? You could be writing it down too. So that's another thing, if you want to help your cognitive memory, write a lot of things down, say a lot of things. It's gonna help. And then last but not least, one very, very important aspect is your oral memory. If you are able to remember things by hearing, then this is gonna help your muscle memory in a major way. Yeah? And one huge way to help that is to actually train your oral memory and train your ear and work on being able to remember longer phrases. So how do you train this? Well, first, I want you to go down there in the description and download my LLG method ebook, because this actually will give you the overview over all the lead guitar foundations that you can train to become a more confident and competent lead guitar player. And ear training is definitely a huge part of it. And besides that, I'm also gonna drop you down there the link of the ear training app that we use inside of TGT. It's called Theoria. And you can start with just training your intervals and your chords. You just want to be able to recognize harmonic context and listen to a song and be able to tell the chords and understand the functions. And this is going to help your memory hugely. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's not only in music, it's like with anything else. If you can't understand it, you're not going to remember it. On the other hand, if you understand something, even if you may not know all the details, you are going to remember something. If you talk to someone and you had an important discussion about a topic that you care about, you are going to remember it. In that sense, I hope this helped, and I also hope that you had fun with this little blues theme. You can use this as a first example to upgrade your memory by just using all 3 memory layers that you have available: muscle memory, cognitive memory, and oral memory. In that sense, glad to have you here on my YouTube channel, and watch this video here next.